Today, I'm going to show you how to make one of the easiest things you'll ever make. Other than boiling water, maybe. And the only reason why I'm going to be doing this is because my wife won't get on camera and do it. This is actually her thing, but it's so good, and I thought it was worth the while of me getting on camera and doing it for her. So, it's going to be vanilla. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to make your very own vanilla extract. Well, here we go. Probably the easiest thing that you'll ever make, and so rewarding. And you can save a lot of money making your own, because vanilla extract, it's darn expensive. So, you know, my wife, about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, started making vanilla, and it is the best vanilla by far. And we give it away. They're great Christmas gifts. We give it to friends, and you know, nothing beats homemade. So today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make your own vanilla at home. And it's really just basically two ingredients: vanilla bean and a vodka. Now you could use a spiced rum. I was actually going to try to make a couple bottles of spiced rum vanilla, but I didn't have enough spiced rum down at the bar, so we're going with all vodka. And that's it. Vanilla beans and vodka and time. It takes a lot of time to make it. It doesn't take time to make it. It takes time for it to set and do its thing. And a little bit of help from you as well. But let's just get started. I have some vanilla beans here, and they are pricey as well, but not that bad considering how many bottles of vanilla extract we're going to get out of this. And so you'll just see just how cost-saving this is, especially now when, you know, inflation is going crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and use about 2 vanilla beans for each bottle. I'm going to cut them in half. I'm going to split them open so we can expose the bean to the alcohol, and then we're going to go ahead and pour the vodka over the beans just to make sure that they're covered, seal them, and then every once a week we'll just give them a little shake, and the end result, well, I don't have a full bottle here, is something like this. So I'll actually get one of the other bottles out at the end when I can show you the difference in color. So let's get started. Let's do some vanilla extract. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my other eyeballs on here. And I'm going to cut these in half, and I'm going to split them open. Now, the last batch my wife made, she didn't cut them in half. Nothing wrong with it. You don't have to. This speeds up the process a little bit or makes it more intense. Go ahead and cut these all at one time. There we go. Now that I have my beans cut in half, let's go ahead and split these. So I'm just going to put a little cut in here, not to go all the way through. And if you do, no big deal. Now, the longer you let these sit, so like I said, it takes about a year. You let it go 18 months to 24 months, that vanilla extract is just going to get more and more flavorful. So 12 months is like the minimum, but if you let it go 18 to 24, it's going to get even better. Okay, now I've got these all cut and split. Now if you've noticed, there's a few other ingredients out here other than the two that I talked about. Because you're going to get a bonus, I'm going to go ahead and make some nice homemade vanilla pudding. Does anybody make homemade vanilla pudding anymore? Well, after you watch this you will be. Anyways, let me keep going here. So you just thought you were getting vanilla extract, huh? Well, lucky you. You get to watch me make some vanilla pudding. One of those old time, oh my gosh. Think back to your childhood. How many of you's moms made vanilla pudding from scratch? Mine did. Banana pudding. My brother's favorite, vanilla orange pudding. There we go. All right, now to fill these up, you've got to have a funnel. We're going to pour just about up to the neck because we're going to need a little room for shaking. You can use cheap vodka. Don't go out there and buy the most expensive stuff. All right, I'll get all these filled up. We'll come back And we'll wrap up the extract part of this when we get into the pudding. So there you go. That's what it looks like. You see how dark it gets over a year. We'll put this in a cool, dry place. We'll go ahead and shake it about once a week for the next 6 months. And then, you know, it's like shake it once a month after that. But that's all you do. I told you that was going to be simple. All right. Let me also suggest that the bottles that we bought come with little labels. So what I'll do is I'll end up taking these labels, putting them on the jars, and putting the date down there, so we know when we started and when we should be able to go ahead and use it. Now I also have to add that there are a number of different types of vanilla beans that you could be buying. In this case, we used Madagascar. I know in the last batch we had bought some Tahitian vanilla and some Madagascar. And honestly, I really couldn't tell the difference between the two. So, all right, let me get some of the stuff out of the way, and we'll get into making some good old-fashioned vanilla pudding with our homemade vanilla extract. Okay, on to our pudding. What goes into a simple homemade vanilla pudding? Well, I have some whole milk here. Actually, I have a half a cup of half and half and whole milk, about 2 cups. I have regular granulated sugar, a couple tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 2 egg yolks, and 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm probably going to use some of the leftover vanilla inside these beans, and so I'll probably use maybe 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and then whatever I can pull out of a couple of the beans to really enhance it. So, all right, into our little saucepan goes our milk and our sugar, our salt, our cornstarch. I just love it when cornstarch makes a mess. So one thing I don't like about cornstarch, it can get messy. We will go ahead and stir this to dissolve it. Now what I'm going to do, while this heats up a little bit, I'm going to take probably 2 of these beans. I'm going to snip the ends off and pull out some of the gold that's inside these beans. A little flavor enhancer. So these are the beans that came out of one of the bottles of extract that we just finished. And actually my buddy did, he gave me the bottle back. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the ends of the beans off. And if you can see that liquid gold, I am just, all those beans are coming out of there. Oh my goodness gracious. This is going to enhance the flavor like you won't believe. There we go. Don't throw that stuff away. That's good eating there. It's like the lobster meat and the little lobster legs, you know. My mom would get on us about not eating our lobster legs, a little feet or whatever. Get all that good meat out of there. Okay, so I'm gonna continually stir this until almost to boiling. When it starts to boil, I'm gonna stop. Pull it away from the heat. But I don't want it to burn on the bottom of the pan, so I'm going to keep monitoring this, stirring it, making sure we don't get any scorching going on here. As with any homemade pudding, you really gotta kind of watch it. I think I'll post a link to my homemade rice pudding. Got a lot of views that did. Still getting a lot of views. So actually, once this gets to the boil, or almost to the boil, I'm going to take and whisk up my egg yolks, and then I'll be adding a tablespoon at a time of the hot liquid into the egg yolks to temper them. We don't want to just take those egg yolks and dump them in our hot milk there, or we're going to have scrambled eggs. You know, it's not scrambled egg pudding. It's vanilla pudding. This will actually start to thicken as it is right now. It's looking really good. In fact, I'm going to cut this down because it's just starting to bubble a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and whisk my yolks up a little bit until they get a little bit opaque. It's about a minute or 30 seconds. I'm using fresh eggs, so this is going to go a little bit faster. Now I've got to do this carefully. Take about a tablespoon at a time twist this in, and we'll temper these eggs down. Give it another tablespoon. You could smell what I'm smelling right now. Holy smokes. You make this, you'll never go back to the box, I can guarantee. A couple more. Probably one more round of tempering this down and we'll be ready to add this into our pudding mixture. It's looking good. We're just about there. All right, temper it up. Now, I'm gonna get my heat back on. We're not gonna put it so high. And we're going to go ahead and add our egg yolk mixture slowly into our pudding. And it will get thicker. We're gonna cook this for about a minute. Baby. And I'm getting it all over the place. There we go. Cut that down a little bit. I don't want this to boil. It's just beneath the boil, full boil. That's it. I've made a mess. I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up. We're gonna go ahead and actually put these into some serving glasses. Get them in the fridge, let them cool down for about, I don't know, an hour or two. Let me go ahead and clean up my mess and we'll move on. Oh, before we move on, I forgot the butter. Since it's still warm, and this is room temperature butter, this will go right in here and really enrich this. There we go. Now, when you're transferring this to your cooling vessel, you could sieve it, what have you, if there's any lumps. I'm not seeing any lumps, so I think we're pretty good here. I did a good job of mixing it on the front end, and holy moly, this smells good. Okay, it's time to see if I can get this into the serving vessel without getting it all over the place. Wow, this sure does smell good. Okay, I made a small batch. Well, I probably could have made them in smaller portions, but hey, it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna cover these with saran wrap because we don't want skin to form on the top of these while they cool down. So, let's get these tops on. I got a little on my finger when I was cleaning up. Good stuff. I gotta tell you, better than the box. Cheaper too. All right, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the fridge. We'll let them cool down for a couple hours. We'll come back to see what the end result is, okay? So stick around. I'll be back in a couple seconds to you. We are back. It's been 2 hours. Our pudding is nicely chilled. And I wanna make a note. I don't know if you noticed or not, I didn't add any of the liquid vanilla into my pudding. When I got a bit on my finger there, I tasted it, I was like, that's really good. And so I decided not to go in with any liquid as I used what vanilla we had in those beans, and it came out really good. Anyways, now it's chilled. I'm gonna actually go in for a real bite, or a real taste. Set up nicely. Nothing beats homemade. All right, vanilla pudding, homemade. Let's give it a try. There's no comparison. Absolutely no comparison. Make it from scratch. You saw how easy it was to make, and you saw just how easy it was to make your own vanilla extract. Well, this is the one I got started. You've seen the end result, and so hey, give it a try. You know, save some money. Give out some really cool Christmas presents or birthday presents or whatever. Just give them away. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, most importantly share. And right over there, go ahead and hit my logo. It makes it so much easier to subscribe to the channel. So until next time, thanks, and we'll see you.